What's up, everybody? Jacob Royall coming at you from beautiful Santa Barbara, California for part 2 of the webinar series. You get a taste of Michael and Michael's techniques and what he has to say about the software that he developed. And then you get part 2, which is Jake Royall and fellow customer and was once a non-customer, and what I have to say. Happy Thursday. How was everybody's trading week? Put it in the comments. Was it great? Was it fantastic? Was it horrific? How did you do with your rules? Did you stick to them? Did you change them? Let me pop out the questions pane here. Sorry, I'm a little behind because I did make that goal to be able to trade all day. Okay, now I see the questions. Thank you. Let me see what everybody's got to say. There we go. Oh, come on, meeting thing. Okay, I'm just reading a couple questions here. Oh, from Luke. So I'm not Michael, I'm Jake, or Jacob as some people say. Thank you for the background compliment. Yeah, long with sell out in the meantime. I was actually long on the 5-minute chart. I just happened to, well, this is I'm gonna explain that later. This is a 5-minute rev poll. So if we don't wanna use patterns, we can use rev polls. And I did a bunch of back testing the other day. And if you don't wanna deal with patterns, which can be quite confusing, you can simply check box number 1. I asked Michael what his favorite rev poll. Everybody should have this with their warp, with their most recent warp update. If you don't have it, just send Rachel an email. So the signal, I asked Michael during the Aurora presentation that he did a month or 2 ago, 2 months ago. And I said, out of the 3 rules for reverse polarity, which one's your favorite? Because I don't know if anybody's ever tried to use all 3 reverse polarities plus pattern 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good luck. Good luck not driving yourself insane. So I've been trying to simplify, even simpler than the Royal Warp strategy that I teach. And it worked out quite well today. And I just used the signal bar close same direction. So signal bar close same direction. I'll get rid of the background here for a second. Signal bar close same direction. So 3:25 p.m. we have a down signal, sell signal. We also have a down bar, a bear bar, a sell bar. Signal bar close same direction. Blue bar, blue dot. That equals inversion or long. This one slapped me around a little bit. I did not enjoy this. This was not pleasant. Had I not been using reverse polarity, then I would have been in a long here and done just great. So I'm still trying to decide on how to, when to use the reverse and when not to. I did a test on the 3-minute NASDAQ and a 3-minute and a 5-minute NASDAQ with reverse polarity and not reverse polarity. The 5-minute was much more reactive and did much better with reverse polarity than the 3-minute. So the 3-minute I traded nominal polarity, as Michael would say, and the 5-minute I traded with the option to you have a reverse polarity. So this white bar at a white dot would show up as a reverse polarity. So you'd come in and check that box. Oh, it already is checked. My computer's been playing tricks on me. I don't know why. They're really easy to see yourself, but normally it will print a, oh, there it is. So reverse polarity here. And then it prints a little arrow there. But it's really easy to spot even without that. I mean, here, I'll show you. Let me see if I can just pull it up right now before we kind of officially get started. Well, we're officially started. Where did I put that? Is it on here? Oh, maybe it's over here. Here, I'll show you the test. Chart trader off. bring this puppy in here for a second. There they are. That's a different meeting. So I tested the NASDAQ 5-minute. I tested 2 days with reverse polarity and no HMA, no EMA, no SMA, nothing. And with reverse polarity or without. So let's see. So in the 2 days total, we had 2,147 ticks. And then I had another chart. Oh, shoot. I guess I could pull it up. I had 2 charts side by side, one with the rev poll and one without. One of these days, it was like we doubled our profit. So this day was 847. This day was 1,300. No HMA, reverse polarity is a yes. And then stop punctures. Let me see here. I know it's this color background. No, not that. About. Oh, this could be it. No, that's the 3-minute. I might have gotten rid of it. That'd be unfortunate. No, keep pulling that up. I don't even want that anymore. Anyway, you might just have to take my word for it. So I don't want to, wasn't planning on even sharing that actually. Could be here. Oh, here it is. I think this is it. Let me pull it over. No, that's not it. Oh, yes, it is. So it wasn't, oh yeah. Look at this. 500 ticks. So this was the 2 days total without using reverse polarity. The 2 days total. This is just for yesterday, and this is just for Tuesday. So we went from minus 2,000, which is like honestly like the biggest drawdown that I really can that I personally experienced with Warp. But you know, take both these days into consideration. You're still only down 500 ticks in 2 days. So I mean, it's not great, but it's also not horrific. However, you know, then you compare that with using reverse polarity on the 5-minute chart, 2 days total, 2,147 ticks versus 2 days total minus 500 ticks. So we went from minus 2,000. Let's put them side by side. Check this out. And I'll get rid of TachEon. So that's total, 2 days total, 2 days total. We'll put that up here in the right-hand corner. No HMA, 1,300 ticks for this day, for Wednesday. 2 positions, one runner and one 1-to-1 RVR, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that a little bit later. No HMA, 1,300 ticks. No reverse polarity, same exact system, minus 2,000. Now with the 3-minute chart, it was better to not use reverse polarity. I mean, I tell you what, like trading Warp today was just, it was so relaxing and nice and fantastic. And I could sense the banks doing their nefarious crap behind these candles at the signals today. I mean, over the last few weeks, I've really been in tune with it. Like, oh, look how much faster the candle's moving at I don't know, what was a good example for today? Like, look how much faster. The morning was awesome. Look how much faster the candle's moving here at 10:35 or 10 o'clock. This is a reverse polarity. Here, it didn't print it. I don't know if that's a bug with my computer or NinjaTrader or the software, but and I'll get into exactly, I mean, maybe we'll just go ahead and back test the day. I'll show you. I'll show you what's going on with that. We use the NASDAQ 5-minute because we do have signals that are carried forward from the emails that are sent out to thousands of customers and non-customers every week. So there's no way to cheat on a back test, or, well, we're not sitting here forward testing. I'm not going to do a webinar and trade all day with everybody. That's just a little intense. Default customs, baby. That's right, Vic. Only. You know why? Here's why. I don't want to feel responsible, 100% responsible for the trades, for the executions, for the entries, for the exits. I'm just going to use the standard settings. I'm gonna be like, oh, if I would have picked a different setting, then I would have done better that day, and then I'll beat myself up a little bit, even subconsciously. I'll still do it. I'll still beat myself up because that's just what, I think that's just what humans do, at least subconsciously, but it's not as bad. Like today, I was like, hey, I'm just following the rule book. I mean, I'm doing this one-to-one thing. Like that's my little addition to it, but no moving average of any kind. I didn't make up rev pull. I didn't make up the stop puncture. I didn't make up the 12,000 lines of code that puts these signals where they are. And I didn't make up that blue is down and white is up. I'm just like some meat bag who is pushing the button and trying to hold on. And yeah, that's why standard settings. It's like, why put that extra pressure on myself? I've been there, done that. Developed like, I don't even know, hundreds of systems. And then I'm like tied to the system in some like inextricable, can't talk today, way. And because of that, there's like this guilting that happens when I do bad, and by do bad, I mean lose money. And then there's this elation and like ego stroking that happens when I do good or win, even though I don't mean to do it. That's just what's happening. But if I'm just trading signal to signal and something super simple and standard settings, I'll put that pressure and that blame somewhere else. I'm not going to blame Michael. I'm not going to blame Ron. But I don't have to blame myself. Unless I'm like, oh, well, you could have found better settings and bruh. Good luck. The settings are always changing. Just stick with the, I don't know. I have to use the standard settings because I do these webinars. I used to mess with the settings. But why? I make up this little story that Michael's favorite instrument is the NASDAQ or the MNQ, NQ, whatever. And I make up that story because that's what he said basically multiple times throughout the over 2 years that I've known him and been a customer. And well, when you're developing software like this, and you got to stare at charts, right? You have to stare at charts. What the hell is that? 8:35. I don't even know. I just randomly went here. This is crazy. But you have to stare at charts. Michael likes, I think he likes staring at the NASDAQ. And then you have to, when you develop an indicator like this, especially a super fancy institutional grade, indicator that costs a couple $1,000. Oh, what? It costs money? Yes, it does. If you don't want to pay it, then and you're not a customer, then call Dave. Maybe he'll give you a free copy. No, he won't actually, because he's not allowed, and we're not allowed to do that. But maybe he'll give you a deal. I mean, I'm sure he'll try to figure something out. That's Dave, is our sales guy. Dave, you want to post your contact info in the chat? It's his email is it Dave or David? David at backtothefuturetrading.com. My advice for crude is to not trade it. Why? I don't know why anybody would want to trade that. I just don't know. Here's why I don't like crude. I don't like crude, and I've traded it. I don't like crude because at any given time, you could have high volume. or low volume. At least if you trade something like the NASDAQ or the ES or the Dow or something, like you know when most of the volume is going to be happening regularly through regular trading hours. Is there any such thing as regular trading hours for crude? I don't think so. It's a worldwide instrument. I say the hell with crude. Find an instrument that you can at least predict when it will be busy, right? It's like going into, I don't know if I can even really come up with a metaphor. I have no problem killing instruments in my mind. Like, oh, I want to trade the ES because I'll kill that ES idea in my mind. I don't care. I want to trade what works for me and my personality. I mean, shoot, if crude works for your personality, I mean, I guess I've heard that look back period 1, 2, 3, 0 with, I don't know, a swing strength of 5 or 8 might be good. But I never know when where's there's going to be volume. I want to trade when there's volume. If you trade the Dow or NASDAQ or something like that with regular trading hours, then at least you know when the store is really going to be open, you know? Like if you go into a 24-hour-a-day Walmart, it's going to be open all day, right? The NASDAQ's open all day in a sense. But when are the, maybe Costco will be a better example because they do the free samples, right? Costco, say it was a 24-hour-a-day Costco, and you really are into the free food samples. I'm not really into that, but there's some people that are really into those free food, little food cups, you know, oh, try this, oh, try that. If you're really into those food cups, when are you going to go? At 3 o'clock in the morning? No, because the food cup people, sample people, they're not going to be there. They're there when the people are there, when the busyness is happening. So NASDAQ's my sample food cup Costco analogy thing, something. David, David at backtothefuturetrading.com. If you don't have the software yet, contact David, and then his phone number is probably in the chat somewhere. Oh, I got to expand it. Yes, 727-742-2626. It's I'm going to just go ahead and say the price right out front of the webinar. It's $2,500, $2,499 to be exact. But if you put in a code warp off, you'll get it down to $1,999, and it'll come with the rev poll and all sorts of, I mean, all the standard warp stuff. But talk to David. There's like bells and whistles versions, and it's definitely not necessary. You know, like you go into a car lot, and this is a BMW as far as I'm concerned, but you know, all BMWs have sunroofs, not all BMWs have sunroofs, but they all have air conditioning. They all have electric windows. They all have, I don't know, at least high-end seats, but maybe you want the one with real leather seats and a skylight and the souped up engine and the 20-inch rims instead of the 16. Well, it's still a BMW, but that's going to cost a little bit more. And you know, if you want the extra bling, you got to pay for the extra bling. But there ain't nothing wrong with the standard BMW. We're not talking Mazda Miata here. We're talking, what is it, an X5? I can never keep the daggone BMW car names straight. Does anybody else have that problem? Yeah, you could do that. I don't know. I ain't touching crude. It's hard enough for me to just trade one instrument, let alone try to figure out other ones. That's a good point, though. Tim says, if you like trading against Middle East airline, hedge traders equals CL. Oh, no, Vic, crude is his favorite. All right, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I just never know when it's going to move. It just seems like it's moving all over, just whenever. I don't like something that's as affected. I don't know. They're all affected by something, whatever. But you can reach out to, I mean, Vic, how long have you had the software? Don't you already have the best settings for that? You should have had, I mean, you could just send Rachel. Rachel probably has a list of good settings for crude. I don't know. Rachel at backtothefuturetrading.com, or even harass Michael at backtothefuturetrading.com, or Ron at backtothefuturetrading.com. So I gotta give him some work. But yeah, you asked me for advice. That's what it was. Okay, where was I? So how many people here we got? Oh, dang. We almost have a record. Got a lot of people here. Thanks everybody for showing up. How many people don't have the software? Does anybody not have it yet? Because I really want everybody to have it that's here. I mean, honestly, if you can't spend a couple grand on trading software, it's a one-time payment too. I mean, I've seen there's places out there that charge like $1,000, $2,000 a month or a quarter for their software. I use this every day, and I've had lots of different softwares, and I always come back to Warp. I always come back to Warp, not just because it's a profitable system, hypothetically, of course, I must say that, disclaimer, but because it allows me to take a break once I'm in a trade from, say, I don't know, let's find some regular trading hours. I guess that is regular trading hours. It allows me to take a break from, even if I took this rev pull short, I would have gotten stopped out here, right? But then I would have re-entered at the stop puncture like this. And then once I'm re-entered, then I can take a break from 11:15 to 11:40. Once I have my ATM set, I got a first target here, and then I got a runner that exits there. No other trading software plots the times in advance. Like I love these stop punctures. Psychologically, it's like, oh, this one didn't go down here at 9:30. Like, okay, cool. I'll just, I'll take a loss, and then I'll get back in. I get to stop and reverse. Oh God, it's amazing. A 264 and an 86. So we almost make up for that loss. Here we more than make up for it, right? So we would re-enter here, and then we'd run that puppy all the way to here. Bam, just made up for it. Because sometimes, as Michael would say, sometimes the banks don't show up. Like there is history of institutions, big money selling at 9:30. That doesn't mean that they're going to. Sometimes they're like, haha, it's suckers, just like they did here and here. But there's a way to re-enter. And then we have like a down, and that one's, pretty straightforward. Then we have an up. I don't know, I just picked some random day. And then we have like a break even, then we have a rev pull and a stop out. Every once in a while you will get these double stop outs. I'm wondering if they happen more in the afternoon. That's something that I need to look at, because I was up like, let's see, I can use ticks. I was up 1,000 ticks, and then I traded the afternoon, and now I'm up 350. So I don't know, I need more data. But I love the system. I love Warp because I know when trades are coming. I don't get surprised. It might be a surprise if I get stopped out or if I get my target real quickly. But when I'm supposed to enter and exit, except for these stop punctures, that's not a surprise. It's the only thing I can psychologically handle anymore, personally. Nope, no 120. I'm sick and tired of EMAs. If anything, I use a 21 HMA. I've also been testing the 35 HMA on the 3 minute, the 21 on the 5, the 35 on the 3. But I have done a bunch of testing here on these webinars with the 21 HMA on the 3 minute chart. Let me duplicate this. Wait, do I need this? What is this chart? Do I need this? I think I need this. Let's duplicate this thing. And then we're just going to clear all the drawing tools. And then we can do some testing. I do have to do the slideshow just because while I'm in the midst of ranting. It's part of my job to do the slideshow. TachEon TimeWarp is the software we're talking about. I ain't using no HMAs or EMAs or nothing today. Signal to signal, baby. Have you guys and girls, Has anybody seen those Aurora spreadsheet backtest output thingamajigs that Michael's been putting out? Well, it's interesting. Why did he? I mean, of course he wants to pick the best one with the best settings to show everybody. Why? I mean, the heck yeah, that's what I would do. That's what any reasonable person would do. So why did he pick no EMA? Where is that? I think I might have it somewhere, but I think it was a swing strength 8 or 5 NASDAQ, of course, because it's his baby. And it was like a look back one, what was it? 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I could pull it up somewhere. But why did he pick one without? There was no trend. It was no trend. Signal to signal. And I've done a bunch of testing on Aurora. I don't really know how much those daggone EMAs and HMAs or whatever are really helping us. I don't know, because over time, signal to signal, signal to signal. There's me, there's my dog. We're talking about tools here. I think we all get that. We're talking about sledgehammers. We're talking about quality roofing hammers. We're not talking about free lagging POS indicators like this. I give this poor little hammer a hard time every week. You know, I'm gonna send some love to that hammer. It's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. It's special. It's pretty. Like it would look really nice in like my 7-year-old daughter's hand, swinging away at 1 penny nails. But we're not in a 1 penny nail game here. We're in like, I mean, what pretty much amounts to like life and death. I mean, as close as I get to it, really. Well, I do take martial arts, but that's super chill. This is like, there's nothing more emotional than trading. But for me, well, that's not true. Dropping my daughter off to my ex-wife, that's a thing. Yeah, okay, all right. Trading ain't squat compared to that. It's a different kind. So Back to the Future is the only company online, like I was saying, that gives the times and directions in advance, gives you the trading rules in advance, lets the time to set up pass. 2 days later, we can add up the results for pass or fail. So that's the Tuesday emails go out with all the times, and then on Wednesday and Thursday we can check those times out. Oh, well, there you go. Signal to signal, Philip. Good job. Good job. It's all about like, can you hold the trade? Can you hold the trade over time? Now, some people can trade discretionarily. I mean, I can, but I'm in a different level now where trading discretionarily freaks me out because I'm partners with somebody in like this little mini hedge fund that we're starting. Just got to start mini, and it's really tough to put any discretion in. I have like so much extra pressure because of that. So I'm like just dialing it back and simplifying. I don't know, Philip, why don't you just send Rachel at Back to the Future Trading an email, and you might have unsubscribed at some point by accident, or maybe they're in your spam. Philip was asking why he doesn't seem to get the time emails. Also, if anybody is interested, let me show you exactly where you can go to see the times. So to heck with the emails. You go here. This is what I was watching today while I was trading on my second screen. Can you hear that? You gotta stay relaxed, man. Gotta stay relaxed. Oh, let me turn that off. So you go to the Back to the Future Trading website. Oh, look, here's the Buy Now button. Buy now. You can also have a opportunity to enter Pro Trading Room. We also have that for 25% off. If you don't want to do that, just go to checkout without, and then scroll to the bottom so you read the disclaimers and whatnot. And then let's see, warp off, apply. There you go, 2,000 bucks. I bet you though, if you don't have the software, I bet you if you call Dave or email Dave, there's a way that he can figure out, because he's the sales guy. He's the only guy here that he's in sales. I'm not a salesperson. I do these webinars and I'm like supposed to help Dave, but I don't get any commissions, or like I have nothing to do with sales other than this webinar. And I feel like this webinar, as far as sales goes, it's only like, I don't know, 30% of it. I really just like talking to people that have the software and talking about strategy and charts and stuff. So there you go. Okay, so if you wanted to see where the times are, every week these are posted on Tuesday. So we'll go back to the main page. Oh, I guess you could have done it from there. And then we'll go to About, Live Weekly Webinars, which is exactly what you're watching right now. And this is the TachEon Tool Suite demonstration webinar. There's a TimeWarp projections. And then you just click on that. And then you just go to that little plus deal there, and then you can see all the times for the ES, 5 minute, 3 minute, crude, gold, and on and on and on and on, even some cryptos in there, some forex, well, forex futures, I guess, technically. And then you can see all the times for Thursday as well, same instruments. So once those are posted on the website, they don't get changed. And I think Michael and Ron have been doing this for like the better part of 10 years, something like that. We'll just say a decade, something to that effect. I need a sip of my beverage. It's good to be here with everybody today. I appreciate everybody. Oh, there you go. Okay. Do we have any news today? I'm all over the place today. I don't know. I took my medicine. I don't know why I'm so ADD. Took my meds. I took my meds. So 20th is the day today. There was some news in the beginning of the day, and then yesterday there was, it's pretty chilled. No FOMCs yapping their traps. Let's see, NASDAQ trading calendar. Yeah, October. Nothing on Wednesday and Thursday. So let's see. Let's go back. Did anybody answer me if they didn't have the software yet? No. I wonder if I can unmute just one person and like call on them, and then we can all hear. Should we test it with somebody? Because I think that would be fun. That's never been done, as far as I know, in any of these webinars. Dave, can I just try you maybe? Let me see here. Give me a second. Not that I'm really going to do it. Like, I don't even know what I would do with it, but I've always wanted to know how we do that. Sharing audio webcam. Oh, thanks, Jerry. I really appreciate you letting me know that. Thank you. That's a good name too. The double J. I like the alliteration there. Okay, so I think if I went like this, Jerry. Attendee is self-muted and is muted by organizer. Oh, look, Ian's here. Hey, Ian. Let's try unmuting Ian. Hey, I don't know how to do it. I don't know, but you might be able to talk now. Ian, can you talk? Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that would be cool to have like a little bit of audience participation. But I don't see a way. Oh no, it says mute Ian. And I can mute and then unmute. Huh. All right, well, I'll come back to that. So my big thesis is that although the world looks messy and chaotic, if you translate it into the world of numbers and shapes, patterns emerge and you start to understand why things are the way they are. I absolutely concur with that. So if that looks like messy and chaotic, I mean, especially to somebody, Do you folks remember when you first saw a trading chart and were actually interested in understanding it? I remember. And I was like, there's no way I can wrap my head around this. This is insane. I don't even know what a green candle means. What's that little thin wiki looking thing? What's the big green part? Why are some green parts bigger than other green parts? And what red I think means down, I think green means up. It's just the candles alone, let alone like trying to pick out like head and shoulders and flags and double bottoms and pennants and whatever else. We can start to see patterns, but I want to see patterns something to do. I want those patterns to have something to do with time and a linear progression. And along comes Back to the Future trading and TachEon TimeWarp. So the 12,000 lines of code that the software runs upon, or it runs, however you would say that. It basically just goes back into the historical data. It sounds like, oh, it just does that. This is the one of a kind proprietary invention by the brains of Michael Leidick and Ron Gardner. I have so much appreciation still 2 years later for this software and for those gentlemen. So the software, it goes back and it looks for times of day where there were significant swing points over a series of days, and where those, I'm just guessing, I'm guessing on this next part, where those times overlap enough to create some kind of average time window. And then I think that the software puts that dot in that section of that average, like maybe right in the middle. So it looks for like the swing high, swing low price, the swings, like that swing 8. It looks for those price modulations, and then it on like an X, I guess on a Y axis, and then on the X axis, it looks for days where those overlap. And when they overlap enough, and I don't know what enough is, that's the proprietary part of the software, I feel like. Then the software plots that dot, the average of those times, I think, out into the future. I've been trying to figure out how this thing works for a long time, well, 2 years since I've got it. And if you look at this quote here, where is it? Yes, right here. I didn't make this slideshow presentation. Michael did. I added a couple of my own things, but I didn't put this quote in there. Time by W.D. Gann. Time is the most important factor in determining market movements, and by studying the past records of the averages of individual stocks, you'll be able to prove for yourself that history does repeat, and that by knowing the past, you can tell the future. There is a definite relation between time and price. Michael doesn't talk about any other trader more than W.D. Gann. Time is the most important factor of all, and is not until sufficient time has expired does any big move start up or down. Now, by a study of the time periods and time cycles, you will learn why tops and bottoms are found at certain times, and why resistance levels are so strong at certain times, and bottoms and tops hold around them. Has anybody ever tried to deal with this is W.D. Gann's square of 9. Good luck. Good luck. Just give me dots on a chart. Has anybody out there ever tried to understand the Gann's square of 9? I believe it's called. I think it's called the square of 9. Let me see. W.D. Gann square of 9. Just the image of it alone is crazy. Okay, so you ready to trade? Just look at this here chart. Oh, you're not? Oh, okay. Well, then just look at this one. Oh, you're not? Oh, well then this one should do it, right? Let's visit this. There's so much information. Tunnel Through the Air. Has anybody read this? I want to read it, but it's very cryptic, I hear. I just haven't gotten around to it. And I also don't want to confuse myself any more than I already know that I can. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, my guess is that warp might have something to do with this or the averages, or I don't know, who knows. All I know is that in my experience over 2 years, it gives us an edge. And that's what we pay for when we buy the software. Just like probably, I don't know, looks like there's 38 people here right now. And I've only seen only one gentleman so far says that he does not have it. So there's 30 people here that have bought it. And here's what I'm just going to be totally frank. If you don't trade the system, either Michael's system or mine, or develop your own and back test it and see that it's an edge, if you don't trade it like you're supposed to, I don't care what software you have, or if you bend the rules, you're not going to make money. Don't blame the software. If I had just got the software 2 years ago and shut my brain up, maybe gave myself a partial lobotomy and just took out the creative part and was like, I would just trade it how it's the blue and then the white and then the blue and then the white and buy and sell and buy and sell, I could be a millionaire right now. I don't know. But that's why I wanted to challenge myself today and just, do the blue to white, the blue to white, the blue to white. Of course, I had to add something like the one other target. But that's me. So yeah, I think we're getting there. I don't even see we at that. Here's a Apex qualification that I did. This is Ron's pro training room equity curve, using the software, of course. So we get to know when in the future to be proactive versus reacting all the time with those lagging tools. I was going to say lagging sissy tools. I have no idea why, but I said it anyway. Because the playing field is stacked against us by the big banks. It absolutely is. I 100% believe that. I mean, it's probably embarrassing. My brother says that a lot. He's like, it's embarrassing how much time I have with charts. I'm like, okay, yeah. And do you want to use Warp, dude? I can give you a copy because I have a second license. And I'm just gonna stick with my stochastics and my MACD crosses. Okay, are you profitable? Have you qualified for an Apex account ever? No, but dude, it's buy it at the white and sell at the blue. I don't know. So my little brother, he's stuck on it. He can have the software for free and still won't use it or learn it. As if MACDs are better. Exact Mac freaking D crossovers are better. Oh, gag me. I'll tell you how I really feel in a minute. After staring at the NASDAQ for, I don't know, it's got to be over 10,000 hours by now. And also with Warp, it's incredible. I almost wish, I feel like the next webinar, I might try to load up. What do you guys think about this idea? And whenever I say guys, I mean guys and girls, so deal with it. I'm in California here, it's cisgender. It's all one gender here, I guess. It's just guys or gals. What do you think about maybe loading up some market replay data and pushing play? And so we can maybe see, maybe I'll point out a few of the signals that I noticed during the day that just like, maybe, I don't know, you folks could give your opinion on how interesting it is when the candles react the way that they do at these times. It's insane. But it's not that insane because look at the violations. Look at the violations that these I mean, these aren't even all. Yeah, these are banks from all over the world. It's mostly United States. What did Michael say the last webinar? What was it? It's like every $3. What was it? Does anybody remember? It was like for every $2, I don't know, something like this. For every $2 that the banks make, they spend $1 in penalties, and the government doesn't mind because they'll get theirs, and then the banks just go back to doing what they're doing. Did anybody notice that trade at the end of the on the NASDAQ, that stop clear out right at the end of the day? Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like, we'll just clear out the stops all the way down there. We'll clear out the stops all the way on all the way up there, and then we'll just go. We'll close it up for the day, guys. You a-holes. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's not. It's really easy to find. Check it out. Right here. Wait, what day are we on? Was it yesterday? Or maybe it wasn't yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. Anyway, we'll find it once we start looking at charts here in a second. So yeah, before we look at charts, I always like to read through Mark Douglas. This is one of my favorite quotes from Mark Douglas. There is a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. This truth makes trading a probability or numbers game. When you really believe that trading is simply a probability game, concepts like right and wrong or win and lose no longer have the same significance. As a result, your expectations will be in harmony with the possibilities. Thank you, Mark Douglas. And then I always like to go through the 5 and the 7. 5 fundamental truths of trading. Number 1, anything can happen. Number 2, you don't need to know what is going to happen next in order to make money. Number 3, there's a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. And number 4, an edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. And number 5, every moment in the market is unique. 7 principles of consistency, also by Mark Douglas. Number 1, I objectively identify my edge. I'm going to pause there for a second. Can everybody objectively identify their edge? Because if not, then I don't know. I might put on the brakes for a second. Number 2, I predefine the risk of every trade. Does everybody put their stop, or even you don't have to put a stop in, but know where you're going to exit the market? Number 3, I completely accept the risk, or I'm willing to let go of the trade. So like number 3 to me is not trading too large. Like I'm not going to trade 10 mini contracts on a 5-minute chart with warp at this stage in my career. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not willing to accept that risk. Number 4, I act on my edges without reservation or hesitation. TimeWarp makes it so you bet. I mean, you kind of, if you want to stick to the rules with warp, you kind of just have to. You have to not. There's no hesitation allowed. I mean, you just watch the timer, watch the bar timer going down. 3, 2, 1. Oh, geez, I guess I got to enter. I really don't want to. It looks like, I don't know, this could be a upside down triangle, triple sow cow, super serve, but this warp says to go long, so just what I'm going to do. 3, 2, 1. Number 5, I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. Number 6, I continually monitor my susceptibility from making errors. I like to do that by taking deep breaths periodically. Number 7, I understand the absolute necessity of these principles of consistent success, and therefore I never violate them. Okay, so we already went through some quotes. So let's look at some charts. Let's start with no rev poll, because I don't want to confuse everybody off the bat here. We don't need it. It's not something that we need. In fact, maybe we can do two different tests. Let's look at the NASDAQ 5-minute. Let's make sure that my signals are lining up with. So if you want to see the what I call the Royal Warp system, if you want to see that, just go back in the YouTube Back to the Future Trading YouTube catalog. Go back like 6-7 weeks or so from here, and fast forward any one of those. I did like 5 weeks in a row. Yeah, just fast forward 45 minutes to an hour, and then you can see how the system is, what the system is for that. But for anybody who thinks that that's too complicated or just wants something a little different, I'm going to go over something new today. Let's see. So here's the end of the day. And is there anybody here that has no clue about white dots, blue dots? Oh, Jerry had to left. I had to leave. We can talk after whenever he's having a couple of extra deals on this and stuff. Okay, sorry, Jerry. Oh, no, that was Dave answering that. Okay, sorry. Yes, TT. This webinar will be uploaded to YouTube and available to watch once it's uploaded. So usually by tomorrow, it'll be available. Let me see if I missed any questions. Alpha asked, does anyone here trade forex? Forex is one of those other things. Like, why would anybody want to do that? I'm just very partial to the NASDAQ. That's why I like my NASDAQ. No, okay, sweet. We're all good on questions. Anybody? Yeah. Oh, Chris says replay a good idea. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll try to get that set up for next time. Okay. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Sorry, I distracted myself. Let's get the times up and just make sure my times are in alignment so everybody can see. And we are, where are we? Here. And dish to barrel. Okay, and we're looking at, let's look at Thursday first, just because we're here. So we do this. And we'll find the NASDAQ. Thursday, ES, CL, GC. There she is, NASDAQ what? Where's the NASDAQ 5 minute? Hold on a sec. Is there no NASDAQ 5 minute? Mike only puts the 1 minute on there. I mean, we could try the 1 minute. I have no idea how the 1 minute will work. I don't know why I thought, oh, maybe I'm thinking of the, yeah, I must be thinking about the ES. Let me see. Yeah, I must be thinking about the ES. We can look at the ES. I have no idea how well it will work. I mean, shoot, I should look at something that, yeah, it's just the NASDAQ 1 minute. Who knows? Oops. Oh, John asks the question. I can't trade the 1 minute, John. I was in a meeting with somebody the other day. Oh, by the way, I do mentor. I'm like that's kind of my side gig with Back to the Future. Besides these webinars, is I do mentoring on the software. Like if you want to learn patterns and all sorts of stuff. If you need any help, then you can just send me an email to jacob@backtothefuturetrading.com, and we can. I can send you some info on how to get a one-on-one mentorship meeting with me. Damn. Yeah, I guess we could look at, oh yeah, it's the ES5. Oh yeah, so I can't trade the 1 minute. It's like smoking. If I was a crack smoker, which I'm not, thankfully, but if I was and then I quit, so I was an ex-crack smoker, and then somebody comes like, hey, you wanna just want a little toke of this here crack? And I'd be like, ooh, no, I probably shouldn't. And then maybe I took a little hit of it, and then I'd be fully back into smoking crack. So anyway, that analogy, that metaphor, if you will, is how I would be if I started trading the NASDAQ 1 minute. It's like smoking crack, and I don't want to smoke it. I need the 3 minute or the 5 minute. Otherwise, I get too, yeah, it wrecks me. We can look at the ES3. Can't get my, I don't know, nobody's, oh, you know what? Instead of doing this, oh, there we go. I don't want to look at those. I don't want to look at those instruments. Somebody really wants me to. I'm just going to show what I was already going to show. So regular old signal to signal. Okay, so This is I actually want to do this. I want to see if the rev poll thing was better today or not. So this is a NASDAQ or micro NASDAQ. Most of the time, the signals are exactly the same on the micros or the minis. So white dots mean up, as in the price has been in the past. This is a buying window. So we could look at this as if it's a window in time, a buying window, so selling window, buying window. Just going to go over the basics real quick with everybody, just in case somebody who doesn't have the software it watches this YouTube video in the future. Okay. So the signals, the dots always oscillate from color to color, white to blue, white to blue, white to blue, white to blue. It's never blue, blue. However, there can be buys into buys, like this trade, for instance, and I'll go over that. But I like to look at these as windows in time, almost like exactly like I was explaining earlier, that in the past, I'm not sure where, that's what the software does. It goes back and looks through 7 to 14 days of data, and it makes its comparisons and its averages, that there has been a price increase or some kind of big up or down, or big up moves that have coincided enough where the software prints a dot at 10:35, but we don't know exactly when that will happen. It often does happen in the right on the signal candle, but it's more, I like to think of it more as a window in time, and then it just keeps oscillating like that. So I'll go ahead and show you the exact system that I was trading today. It's really quite simple. So at 9:35, market opens at 9:30, right? There's the open. White dots mean up, blue dots mean down. So this is not how I traded it. I traded it with the rev poll, but I might as well use this time to back test what it would have been like without rev poll that I'm doing here on the webinar, and then we'll just test it, because this won't take long to test. It's the 5-minute. It shouldn't take long. So we're going to enter at the close of the 9:35 candle. We're going to enter 2 positions, not even 3. It's even simpler than the Royal Warp. There's no EMA, HMA, nothing. Enter, exit. 244 tick winner. The second position is also entered at the exact same time. So we're entering 2 contracts, however many contracts you want per position, but we're entering a minimum of 2 contracts. That for that second position, so it's 2 positions. For that second position, here I'm gonna make a different default here for a second, because that the double target there could throw some people off. Let's load a 1-to-1, apply. Let's make that the default. Yes. Okay. And then that second position is going to be entered at the same time at 9:35, the close of that candle, which is right here, not here, here. And then we're going to drag that stop all the way to where Warp already places the stop. I don't even want to think about where to put the dang on stops. I want somebody to tell me what to do, AKA TachEon TimeWarp. Let me just show you folks how that is arrived upon, how that stop loss is quantified, and it is quantified. TimeWarp does it for me. So if we scroll down the parameters, oops, I went too far. We will see the volatility stop offset ATR period is 7, and you can make that whatever you want. These are standard settings because I don't want the responsibility, just like I was saying earlier, and the standard settings work fine. So the software is going to look at the past 7 bars after the signal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then it's going to take the average of those 7 bars and multiply it by 1.5. You can also do 1, you can do 0.5, you can do 20 million. 1.5 is the standard. So that's what we're using. So it's looking back over the past 7 candles. And it's placing the stop. And it must be including the signal candle itself. Yes, it does. Otherwise, there's no way that would be the average. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So to here, I'm actually surprised it's that. Oh, because it's 1.5. Yes, 1.5. That makes sense. Okay, so there's the stop. So we have a 1-to-1 target and a runner target. Our 1-to-1 gets hit to the tick right there. Okay, and then let's just move these to the side for now. And then we have a sell window at 10 a.m. We're supposed to sell, and the price just keeps going in the opposite direction. This was actually a reverse polarity trade. So we have to take 2 losses at that stop loss there. But when we test this again with the reverse polarity box checked, you'll see that this is a down bar at a down signal, blue bar, blue dot. So this is reverse polarity. That actually means I actually took this trade long this morning. I took this one short and I took this one long. I inverted them. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to work out. I honestly don't know which way is going to be better. And then we have a stop puncture trade. So this is really the only other setup. This is what I was mentioning earlier. So this candle does not close above, but for instructional purposes, we're going to say that that closed above. It's close enough. And then we can always take that trade out. So what I'd optimally like to see is the candle closing above that stop line. This one didn't, but it's pretty darn close. I might have actually taken this because it's really hard to tell in real time. I can't remember what I did on this trade, but we're going to take that the same way. We're going to enter, and then we're going to drag our stop. These stops are going to be big, so trade small size, and then we'll take a break even. Even if we would have entered, and then we could have entered on maybe this one, but we're going to take 2 break evens. We're going to exit the trade at the next dot. And then very simply at 10:35, we're going to take 1 runner, and then we're going to take 1 1-to-1. I should show you yesterday. Yesterday was insane. I'm going to show you yesterday. We didn't hit that target, so we have to exit that target position as well at 10:50. At 10:50, we have a sell dot, and we're going to enter 1 runner, and we're going to enter 1 1-to-1 RVR. Like it does. I personally can't really design a system much more simple than this. This is a reverse polarity, but we'll go over that in a minute because it's a white dot, white bar, white dot. But for now, we'll say that we're supposed to go long here, and we get stopped. Yeah, see, I have a feeling that the reverse polarity thing works much better on the NASDAQ. This candle right here, we get stopped here. This candle closes below the dot price line. So that's where we're going to enter at the close there. This is more of an official stop puncture trade. I call these STP trades. And then we're going to drag the stop all the way to the open price line, not just the candle. I'm just trading really small. And this is as an exercise in trading psychology. Can I trade signal to signal, hold my runners, and take big 1-to-1s? And then I have a system that I don't know if we'll have time for it, where there's a way to do 2-to-1s as well. So we're going to re-enter 2 positions short, and we don't hit our target down here, so we have to exit that short at 125. And at 125, We have a sell dot. We're going to enter one runner. And we're going to enter a one-to-one RVR. If anybody's thinking, oh, stop losses are so big. Well, yeah, they are. They're freaking huge. They're mammoth sized. That's why I trade micros and not too many of them. Oops. Oh, actually, yeah. So so our one-to-one target is hit here. So it looks like we're making up for some losses now. At 1450, we have a buy dot 250. These are all East Coast times, and we hold the runner till 325. And we have that one-to-one RVR right to there, right to the tick. I came up with this one-to-one RVR thing. I used it in the past, like last year. But then I started to notice how often there's like wicks and touches right here at this one-to-one. It's kind of nuts. One-to-one, look at that, right to the wick. We'll zoom in on that just so you can see. I mean, there's no fudging going on there. There it is. And like the cool thing is like that's not even really that rare. So there you go. Okay, and then 325, we're almost done for the day, and then we're gonna enter one runner and one-to-one. And we have to exit at 4:15, or I don't know, I exited today. I exit at 4 o'clock, so we had a small loss there, or even if we waited till 4:15, we could have that loss, and then we would have had this as a short target, and we would have had that loss as well. So let's total this up and see what we got. Does anybody have a calculator handy? I guess I could use a little spreadsheet. It's like, oh, it's not even gonna be that hard. There's not even too many of them. But I want to see what we came up with without rev pol, reverse polarity, and then what we came up with. I honestly don't know which one's gonna be better today. Okay, let's get the calculator out. Okay, let me just make sure. Oh, anybody has any questions? One sec. Oh, good question, Bruce. Bruce asked, can you recommend how to deal with news releases, either if they have occurred, the select number of days, or before the current day? Well, these dots, they coincide with news releases. I don't actually worry about the dots not being in sync with news releases. All I care about really as far as news, econ news goes, that's the only news I care about, is if it's an FOMC day where they're going to be speaking, like a red day, like this day here. Let me just give you an example. It's a good question, Bruce. Here, one sec. Like a day such as, and that's got to be, and for me to care about it, for me to like stand aside for a few minutes and wait and see, it's got to be in regular trading hours. So this core retail sales, like that's a nice red event, but it's pre-market as far as I'm concerned. 8:30 a.m. East Coast, NASDAQ opens at 9:30. So this can set some volume and volatility precedents for the day, but I'm not trading it. However, let's see, there was a couple weeks ago. If it is here we go, June 15th, for instance, at 2:00 p.m. If I know that there's an FOMC economic projection, federal fund rate, anything like this, like legit actual FOMC, in the afternoon, not pre-market, I'm gonna watch the heck out, because often the morning can be chop, range, consolidate, indecisive, low volatility, low volume, and then 2 o'clock comes around and it's like, oh my God, what happened to tsunami? So those are what Fed chair. This is a little bit before market hours. Fed chair again, 9:30, right at the open. Like, how dare you? How dare you? Pal, you have to schedule it right then. Okay. This 10 o'clock one, this is where I'm going to be like, ooh, maybe I just want to stand aside for a few minutes and just see what happens. Or if you're feeling lucky, throw the dice. Yeah, my email is jacob@backtothefuturetrading.com. Shoot me an email. Thanks, Alpha. All right. What was I doing? Calculator. Okay, so we'll see without rev pool. Ready? Okay, we're gonna do the top first, then the bottom. What's cool about this versus like back testing something with like a MACD cross or coinciding with a RSI plus 80 minus 20 or something, some kind of other system with wiggly waggly things in it, indicators like that, or volume indication. This TachEon TimeWarp, it's really easy to backtest and it holds up. It's legitimately you're able to actually backtest this with I feel like a sense of reality. I was trading, I've traded multiple systems, and what I'm just gonna side note, what I like about big stops is it almost feels like I don't have one. And by that I mean, I don't get the sense that I'm being stop hunted when I have a 278 tick stop loss. It's more like, I got it down there for like a total emergency. It's probably not going to get used. And honestly, like warp stops don't really get used often. They probably only get stopped out maybe 20% of the time, or you're going to get these STP trades. But then we have a remedy for hopefully making up for some of those losses with the continuation to the short here on this one, for instance. I know a lot of people will argue tight stops, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, risk reward, and I'm not going to argue against that. I'll just I'll lend that other opinion, and I've heard many a trader and successful trader say that using stops is a horrible idea. And I would not say that it's a horrible idea. I would personally just say that using too tight of stops in the markets that I trade, or primarily the NASDAQ, where it's just full of bots. I mean, I don't know, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist or anything, but there really are bots that hunt stops. Like that's what they do. And if you have a tight enough stop, the bots can be like, ooh, how can we get down there? Oh, let's place an order, drive the price down just like an extra 20, 30 ticks, and boom, there goes those stops. But with these big stops, it's riskier and you got to trade smaller size, but I don't know, I actually feel safer. I also don't have that urge to, just widen my stop a little bit. Like if I had a stop that was like this instead, like, oh, well, this wick came down here, maybe I'll just give it a little bit more room. And then by the end of the trade, my stop loss is like to here, and I've just gotten stopped out for an extra 75 ticks. Or that's if I'm lucky. Otherwise, I'm just going to be like, oh, well, okay, now I'm safe. I just don't get the urge to move my stops when they're already that wide. It's like, whoa, dude, they're already kind of crazy. But really, it's not that crazy. And let's think about it. 100, let's say this was 100 ticks here. 100 ticks. 100 ticks with 2 micros entered total is only $100, 50 cents per tick. So I don't know, if you can't risk $100 per trade, then I don't think you should be trading. What kind of account? I mean, unless you have like a $500 account, well, then you better, I don't know, in my opinion, you better be trading like a 30-second chart or something, because the size of the chart dictates the size of the stop. You're gonna trade with 50 tick stop losses on a 15-minute chart, just kiss your ass goodbye, right? If you're trading a 15-minute chart, you probably need 300 tick stop losses. If you're trading a 1-minute chart, you could probably get away with 25 ticks, 50 ticks, something like that. I don't know. Correct me if I don't know if anybody else has other opinions, but I try to go through multiple opinions there in that little segment. Yeah, I only trade NASDAQ Alpha. Thanks for asking. Yes, and John 7:14, look back only. Oh, dude, somebody already did the math for me while I was yapping. I love you guys. Yay. Okay. John says we are at 1,088 ticks. I'm just going to trust John. Anybody else want to? I ain't doing it. John's got nothing to prove. One, or maybe he does. Hey, he knows how to use a calculator. Good job, John. John says plus 1. Oops. Get out of there. 1. What? Oh, do I have number lock on? Get out of there. 1. There you go. 1088. Excellent. Ticks. Okay, so let's duplicate this chart and let's just do it again real quick with the reverse polarity and see what happens. I'm actually excited because I have no clue which one's going to be better. Okay, so we're gonna clear all the drawing tools. I hope this is helpful for everybody. I'm gonna challenge everybody right now. See if you can trade either this system, something like this, simple. I mean, if you folks have the software, then none of this should really be that new. Like the stop punctures, you should know. The reverse polarity is going to be possibly a little new, and the one-to-one thing could be a little new, but it's really not. I mean, it's pretty easy. At least I challenge you to just take a day or 2 or 3 and just see if you can trade all day with just 1 micro even, or 2 micros, and actually hold all the trades signal to signal and allow yourself to get stopped out and take a breath and don't move your stop loss. Just try it with real money, but it has to be at least 1 micro, and let me know what happens. But there's a challenge. Remove all drawing objects, yes. Okay, here's the open. Should be able to go through this a little bit quicker this time. See open. And now we're going to come up and we're going to check the reverse polarity box, and I'll go over this again. It's pretty simple though, I feel like. Let me know if anybody's lost. All we're doing, we're in the TachEon TimeWarp settings parameters. All we're doing is simply checking the signal bar close same direction reverse polarity box. That's it. We're not using pattern 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Instead, we have a way that we can invert the signals by just checking this little box, and the software, if it's cooperating with my computer and everything, should print the little rev pol signals. And all that number 1 rule is, and for anybody who missed it, this is from Michael's own words. I asked him, which one of these is your favorite? I'm not using all of them. Please tell me which one is your favorite. And he didn't skip a beat, and he said rule number 1. I also have a friend who has been using rule number 1, and he really likes it as well. Oh, look, we got these little hoverovers now. That's cool. Show when a signal has made a move in the signal direction. Oops. Come back. Oh. Show when a signal has made a move in the signal direction on the signal bar and reversed on the next bar. Oh, I'm glad I just read that. I didn't realize that was part of it. And reversed on the next bar. Oh, hot damn. I can't believe I missed that. And reversed on the next bar. Oh, that's cool. This could end up being even better. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the ones that the software says. So maybe, you know what? I was wrong in the beginning. I don't think that, that's so awesome. I love learning something new, something so simple. Like I remember when Michael and Ron was like, oh, now we're gonna have these hover over boxes. It was like last year or something, or like the year, I don't know, a year and a half ago. I didn't even know there was a hover over box there. So did anybody miss that? I think I kind of missed it. Let's look at it again. This should prove to everybody that I am pretty much just a customer. But hey, you know, the learning is never done, especially with amazing tools like this. Okay, so signal bar close, same direction. I thought that's all it was. I didn't realize that it was show when a signal has made a move. Oh, why don't I stay up there longer? show when a signal has made a move in the signal direction on the signal bar, and then also reversed on the next bar. So maybe I shouldn't be getting in until that reversal on the next bar. So like here, for instance, this one does. So I did get into this one short today, and I was supposed to if I'm following the rev poll rules. So here's the rev poll. We have an up signal, a buy signal, and we have a buy bar. And then the next bar closes in the opposite direction. This is a sell bar. So this bar is supposed to confirm the rev poll. But being the beginning of the day, and what else, they just didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do it. They did not. They wanted to, I don't know, who knows what they were doing. Anyway, we're just going to back test the ones that have the rev poll on there. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Need to leave us out, how I shot, take us out. Oh no, John said he used his head. Oh, we can't try. Well, I don't know. John might be, I don't know. He used his head. Nuh-uh. Really? You did the 10,000 or the 1,088 in your head? That's pretty cool. I mean, I couldn't do that in my head, or maybe I could. Okay, all right, stop messing around. Well, we can always go tally that up later. Just to confirm. One sec. We'll probably go for like another half hour, make it like an even 2 hours or so. Okay, so this was a rev poll short. It's a white dot, but we can see that it prints rev poll up here, and it prints this little blue arrow, which is like, whoa, maybe not long. We're actually going to short this thing, and we're going to short it right at the close of the candle because I can already see this candle forming. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it how I did it this morning because I want to see for myself. So short here instead. This trade I was in, and I was concentrating on something else, and somebody, a gentleman alerted me. He's like, "Oh, you might want to move your stop to break even since your target almost got hit." And I was like, "Oh, darn it!" And then it was too late. So if your target's like this close, move your stinking stops to break even. So you'll have two stops, 1 and 2. And they'll be right on the line. I'm putting these right on the stinking line. No plus minus 15 ticks or whatever. Right on the line. No need for that with the system. And this is only 10 ticks or so, probably less than that if we get super accurate. Yeah, we'll just say 10 ticks away. Just move your stops to break even because I almost got filled there. And then we break even. So, but that's not how we're going to back test it. We'll back test it as if this is a loss. Does come up and stop us out. Rev poll will print its stop losses. Okay. And then we have a puncture here, and then we would do the same thing. Although this is the last candle before the next candle, or before the signal candle. So there's only if we get in on this candle, then there's 5 minutes of this sell signal candle. So I'm not going to enter there. There's not enough time for it really to do what it needs to do. And I did not enter there this morning. Although, yeah, it could have. So we get another rev poll. We have a down bar at a down signal, a sell signal, a selling bar, bear bar, sell signal. So this is actually a rev poll up. Instead of using patterns, we're using this. Hopefully this is easier to understand than patterns. I think it is. So we're going to enter one position long. And then we're also going to have a runner. We're going to have a 1-to-1 position. And that's here. So we exit the runner at 10:35. And at 10:35, we have a regular old white dot. That's our runner. And then we're going to enter our 1-to-1. And we don't hit our target. So we exit right there. And then let's see, we have a 1150 plain Jane regular sell signal. We have a white bar at a sell signal, and see how the price comes up into a sell dot. That's what I always like to see, like this price come up and then down. And then we have a sell signal runner and a 1-to-1. This is about the time where I probably should have stopped trading for the day. Can't remember. Then we have this rev poll here. Let me move this over so we can see it a little bit better. This is a white bar at a white dot. So that's our rev poll. We're actually going to sell this. So we can, it's pretty cool on the 5-minute chart. You can see when these things are coming. Technically, as far as when these signals print, these rev polls and this little arrow, it's not actually going to print until the close of the next bar. But I've been getting in as soon as I realize it's a white candle with a white dot. So we would enter one runner. Nice runner. I took this one today. This is at the end of this trade is probably when I should have stopped trading. I was like, yeah, I'm crushing it. But I had told myself that I was going to trade all day. Maybe I need to be, it's a delicate balance, allowing myself flexibility, because I don't know when I'll be too flexible. So we're going to enter that 1-to-1 RVR right there. All right, and moving on, and we have a regular. I took this one short. Yeah, man. Yeah, see, look. If we zoom in enough, we can see that this is not a full-fledged doji or spinning top. It is indeed a white candle at a blue dot. So that's what we want to see for a regular sell. Blue dot, sell signal, blue, ocean, depths, white, clouds, up, except if it's a reverse polarity. So at 125, oh, maybe this is where I should have stopped. We have that runner. I did take that one. And then we have our 1-to-1. Like I said, I was up like 1,000 ticks. I'll just say ticks instead of currency. I'll leave it to the imagination how much money it was. But there were 1,000 ticks total. Maybe more than that. I don't know, something like that. We'll just call it 1,000. Anyway, short and, oh, and I should mention, I thought I already did. As soon as, no, I didn't. Sorry, this is kind of important. Not that it makes that much of a difference that I've seen with the strategy so far, but as soon as your target 1 is hit, you're only gonna have 1 stop loss left. Move that stop loss to break even and ride out that runner in at least the peace of mind that you're not gonna take a big loss or any loss for that matter. So as soon as target 1 is hit, just like this, simple it down here. First we had 2 stops here, and then we come in, bam, we get hit with our first target gets filled. That means this stop goes away and this one moves to break even. I set up an auto ATM on the fly. I just measure real quick. As soon as I get in the trade here, I just measure, okay, 280 ticks. And then I'll come up to the stop tab and I'll right click, excuse me. And then I'll start a auto break even ATM for plus 280 ticks, break even. And then if anybody's interested, let me show you. If there's anywhere that, oh, maybe on the next day, because there's obviously ways that we can trail these trades as well. All right, and at 250 we have a rev pull short, so we're going to be entering short. It's a white dot, but there's a white candle at a white dot, so that means we have to short, and we'll enter that runner. And this is where I started to give back some of my profits. This is where I should have stopped trading for the day. I remember this time here. you've had enough, Jake. But it's okay. I ended up doing okay, down to like the average. So this trade was especially annoying because we then closed above the stop line, which means we could keep going up. So I had to take this loss plus this loss, then enter here, drag the stop to the open price line, and then take this loss and this loss. At that point, maybe I should have stopped as well, but I told myself I was going to trade all day. And then we have a sell signal, regular. Oh, see here, hook. Here's one of the ones, or oh no, that should be a rev poll, man. I'm telling you. Oh no, it shouldn't. Oh, interesting. Because this next bar is a blue bar, it's saying that this is not a rev poll. That actually makes sense. But I don't feel like waiting. I'm just gonna have some thoughts out loud here. I don't feel like waiting for that next candle. I'm gonna have to do some tests on that, everybody. This one I took as a rev poll because I was like, why isn't the software printing the rev poll? Yeah, I'll make it print it. Yeah, see there, it's a rev poll. So I took that as a rev poll, and then that's when you guys showed up, or when you folks showed up. That's when the webinar started. And then what did we do? Did we trade the other one till 15? We can go look at the other chart. So that's a rev poll down. Not technically, but so minus 38, we did not hit the target. Yeah, that's how we did the other trade. I just want to make sure we're comparing the days. This is just an exercise. And then obviously we did not hit our target for our short. Oh, I'm sorry. What an idiot. Sorry. I've completely probably just confused some people. Oh, now I can't get rid of it. I'm sorry. This was supposed to be a rev poll up. Sorry. All right, if anybody wasn't confused, now you probably are. Good job, Jake. Just hide that over there. So I'm actually calling this a rev poll up. We have a blue. With the blue, that means we do the opposite. So that's why I'm remembering now, because somebody asked in the beginning, well, why are you in a long at a sell dot? Well, that's why, because I'm calling this a rev poll. You could also call this thing a pattern 4, or you could also call it a pattern. Anybody? What is this? Anybody? Bueller? Pattern 8. Lower close, lower close, lower close. And if we're working with the swing strength pattern 4-5 definition of 2, 3, 4 maybe, then we could possibly consider this a new low, right? Like, look at that. Maybe that's a new low. It just depends on what swing strength you're defining your pattern 4 or 5 from. But it is easily able to be determined that this is a pattern 8. Pattern 8. Anyway, we're using rev poll, so we don't have to think about all that. So we ended with a positive. So that rev poll, because it didn't print down here, what I'll do is just take that distance and then place it down here. Sorry, a little confusing there at the end. Sorry about that. I think the rest of it went pretty well though. All right, so let's see if this did any better than what Jason added up in his head. Let's see, get these all out of the way there. There we go. All right, I'll get the calculator out. this. There we go. That looks pretty clear. Okay. Oh, we still got a lot of people here. Thanks for staying, everybody. Okay, let's put the calculator right here, I guess. And we're going to start with all the winners, which are on the top, and then we're going to subtract all the losers, which are on the bottom. Cinch that up a little bit. And we're using ticks, 1 micro per position, but we're just going to see how many ticks we made. So you can all do your own math on how much you would have made or whatever size you're trading, hypothetically, of course. All right, so 297, 95, 95, 91, 299, 7. 738. Okay, plus 2,505. Now it's time for the minus. Minus 112, minus 107. I was going pretty fast, so I'm not expecting like perfect accuracy with my back test here. Minus 280, minus 219, minus 219. 1205. So that's cool. So not much better, but better. As long as Jason did the math right in his head. He might be one of those guys though who could do it. I mean, he is a trader. We like to at least think of ourselves as smart, right? I do feel like doing it though, just so we can have. John says, let's see if let's put John on the spot. I think he had to leave the meeting anyway. Oh, he did. Wait, is it the same? Yep, same John. He had to leave, so we can all talk smack on him now that he's gone. Just kidding. Clear. Clear, 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 clear. All right, let's go top first, 244. Okay, and minus. What's that? Must be 237s. Minus 37, minus 37. Minus 237, minus 278. Oh wait, no, that's not minus 278. That's just a little thing I drew. Oh, daggone it. How do I go back? Oh, I guess I can just put a 0 in here. Ah, son of a gun. Hold on. Let me just make sure that that's right. Talking all that smack on Johnny, he's not even here, and I'm the one who messes something up. Yeah, I just drew this because I was making an example. Remember, I was like, oh yeah, well, you know, the 200 tick stop, that's your fair, and I left it there. All right. Don't call yourselves name. Don't call your, I need to expand that anyway. Okay. Let's do it again. Won't take long. Clear, clear. 244. $89. There it is, 2420. And then we're gonna put this. There you go. Okay, 2420 minus 32 minus 37, 237, 235 minus 13, 11 minus 317 minus 317. John? Does it ever, did I do that right? Okay, well, that's what mine says. Mine says 1200 for rev pull and 1200 for not rev pull. So that's interesting. John said 1088. Okay, well, either way, what's cool is this day, it rocked. I mean, if you're using 2 micros per position, it's really easy to do math. So John said 1088, and Jake says 1221. So either way, I mean, plus minus. Oh, come on now, Mike. I'll get to your question in a sec. Don't worry. What I like about micros on the NASDAQ, or micros for anything that's worth 50 cents per tick, is if you just use 2 micro contracts per position, it's really easy to just convert into dollars. So if you're using 2 micros for this position and 2 micros for this position, you have 128 bucks plus 135 bucks. So if you're using 2 micros, you made 1,200. You would have made 1,200 today with 2 freaking micros, folks. 2 micros per position. So at any given time, you're only in the market with 4 micros. So like your risk here is the biggest risk of the day. I mean, maybe over here is bigger. Your biggest risk of the day is like 500 bucks, 550. And you know, you can handle that with a fairly small account, $10,000 account. Should be able to handle that. I mean, shoot, man, I'm not going to give any advice on what account size to trade for anything. Just pretend I didn't even say any of that. Yes, okay, so Michael asked the reverse polarity setup again. And, you know, I'm happy to go over this because I don't think Michael's ever went over the reverse polarity on, well, maybe yes, I don't know, I haven't watched all of his webinars. But the reverse polarity thing, that only really came out within the last year. It's a new thing that Michael and Ron and customers, I guess people were starting to observe, and the idea came from Force. So, all right, I'll go over the reverse polarity thing one more time, and then we can look at one more day. We got like 10 more minutes. Okay, so first we have to find a reverse polarity. Oh, that's on this chart. Go. Okay, so there's apparently 2 different ways to trade reverse polarities. One is just like if it's a white dot and a white candle, then it's a reverse polarity. Technically, it's not going to print reverse polarity unless you wait. You have to wait for the next candle. Maybe not, because look at this one. Let's look at it again. Maybe I did have it right. Signal bar closes same direction. Show when a signal bar has made a move in the signal direction on the signal bar and then reversed on the next bar. So here's a signal close, same direction. White dot, white close candle. This one didn't reverse on the next candle, but it still printed the rev pull. I think I don't know, from what I've tested so far, it's like if it's a white candle on a white dot, then that constitutes a reverse polarity. If it's a blue candle on a blue dot, like right here, this is a really cool example right here, 5:25 a.m. Here, wait, let me grab this. We can really zoom in here. Unlock. Okay, so we're coming up on 5:25 a.m. East Coast, and we don't see any of this yet, right? But we know that there's a blue dot at 5:25. That's already there. There's not surprised, but I want to wait. I will be surprised on. I don't know if this candle is going to kind of makes it fun in a sense, more-wise, and it's not as stressful to me as trying to figure out if it's a pattern 4 or 5 or whatever else. So blue dot is coming up. Is it going to close white or is it going to close blue? If this candle closes blue, I'm going to get a rev pull signal. If this candle closes white, I'm going to have a sell signal. So this this candle here, this candle closes blue, ends up being a rev pull. As far as I'm concerned, and it does indeed print the rev pull because we get that next candle closing above and going in the opposite direction. Here's for a regular white dot. Here's what we want to see: a blue candle with a white dot. You want to see that polarity. So the polarities are in alignment, if you will. It's like taking a negative magnet side and a positive magnet side. They're gonna come together, right? You take a negative and a negative, or a positive and a positive, and they're gonna push away. So here you have a negative and a negative push away. Negative and positive continue in the direction, come together. So come together as in stick with the original plan of buying. Blue dot, blue signal, push away. So push in opposite direction, which is exactly what it does. So we would enter here one position, hold that runner, and then we would have had one target being a 1-to-1. 1-to-1. And as soon as this target is hit, we're going to move our stop loss, our remaining stop loss, bam, to break even. And then we're going to exit that position here at 610. Is that good? Got it, Michael? Yeah, exactly, Bruce. Exactly. Yeah, but yes, yep. Even for the 50K account, you got to just make sure. If I'm literally just trying to qualify for an Apex or some kind of funded account with a trailing drawdown, it can get a little tricky with some of the runners. So let's see. Let's just do some brainstorming here. Let me just find something. I'm just going to cherry pick on purpose. Oh, check this rev pull out. This is from the yesterday. Yesterday did so much better with rev pull. So at 1040, I'm actually picking this on both of these on purpose. But either one of these actually is fantastic. So, but we're looking at 1040. 1040, we have a white candle at a white dot. Two positive polarities, basically. So it's pushing away from each other. You have to reverse polarity. I don't know. I like the magnet analogy. I just kind of came up with that. It seems to make sense to me. White and white equals push away. White and blue equals head in the initial direction. So this white candle with the white dot, we're going to push away, down and away. And then actually for the thing that I wanted to share about the Apex accounts, this 950 actually works a little bit better. So reverse polarity, that is because we have a blue candle at a blue signal, push away. So we're going to push up here supposedly, and we do. We also get a stop puncture. So if you would have just traded, this short, you would have been stopped here, and then you would have re-entered at the close of this candle for a 1-to-1 target and a runner. But we don't have to worry about that on this trade because this is just simply a reverse polarity and a 1-to-1 runner we need in there, or 1-to-1 target we need in there, and we get that hit there. Right, so, okay, just one more time. Blue dot, buy, 2 positions. First target, or only target actually, is hit. We're gonna move our remaining stop loss for the runner to break even. And then, so in regards to Apex or any other trailing drawdown funded account qualification, maybe this isn't the best example because we come up to 657 as a max positive excursion, and then we draw back down to 95. So that's not bad. If we would have came all the way up to like 1,000, right? And then back down 500 or so, then our trailing drawdown. And if anybody wants to set up a meeting with me, Jacob at backtofuturetrading.com, I can explain this trailing drawdown apex shenanigans in more detail. But basically, like if you get up to, if your stop loss is here on your account, on your equity account, we'll just say, not in the trade. If you get up to 1050, let's see if I can do this. Let's see, like this maybe. Yeah, so your trailing drawdown is going to be 500 ticks closer. So your trailing drawdown is actually it's going to end up being, oops, 5. So we got to measure this 500 ticks closer, wherever that is. So it can be quite frustrating. I mean, it's happening with the account that I'm trying to qualify for right now. It's like, oh, I shouldn't let that runner run so long. Now my trailing drawdown is way closer than it was the other day. That wasn't the best explanation, but yeah, it's like that can be like its whole own thing. I don't want to get sidetracked too much in that. But I did want to show an option on how we could trail this. So I'm just going to switch out my fib tool for 50% real quick, and then I think we're gonna maybe call it done for the day, because right now we're at 2 hours. So if we take a 50%, this is just a 50% split, and we can either 50% these or even just take the whole thing, right? And then just plot it up here. So if we wanted to, this is just an idea. I'm not settled on this. Maybe if you guys folks write me emails, hang out, and maybe there's better ideas. I don't know. So if we entered here, we hit our first target, right? Then our stop loss gets moved to break even. So the idea is if we get a candle touching where target 2 would be, maybe we can move our stop to where target 1 was, or maybe we need a candle that closes above this next standard deviation. So right now we're at break even. I don't know. Oh no, we would not have been stopped at break even. That's cool. See, I don't really like doing plus that many ticks when it comes to break evens. This is actually pretty rare that I've seen in this strategy getting even close. So let's see. So here we close above this next line. So maybe we'll protect some profits to here. And then if we close above this next line, then we can move our stop, but we don't. Then we can move our stop loss to this line. Or, and this is the last thing I'll say on this, we can use 50% of that standard deviation. So you could do something like this. But so far as I've seen, these, because this is based on the average true range and it's based on the market volatility of that time period, these standard deviations seem to work fairly well. So maybe we wait till this candle closes above. Okay, well then we're supposed to be here. Then we wait for a candle to close above here, and then we move to here. And then if we would have got to close above here, then we can move to here. So that might help with the apex stuff, having some kind of method to trail stop. If you're not using apex qualification, if you're not doing that, then it might be just as easy to just let the runner run. Less stressful, less stuff to think about. You will be leaving money on the table from time to time, but you can also get stopped out early and then see the trade keep working in your direction, and that can be frustrating. So yeah, there's some ideas for you folks. I'm going to go over and you can do this as well. Split all those up into 50%, right? So you could do something like we hit first target, right? So we hit, or maybe you could even do something like this. As soon as we get a candle closing above 50% of the first target, maybe we half our risk. Then we hit our first target, then we're break even. Then we close above, then we move below, then we close above, then we move below, then we close above, then we move below, then we close above, then we move below. There you go. That worked on that one. Let's do one more. That was kind of fun. Let's see if this one works. So this is a reverse polarity short. And then we'll take one of these and we'll come over here and we'll measure it. And we're just going to 50% it. Let's drag this all the way out. I hope this is helping some people. And then we'll 50% that. And then we can 50% it one more time. So see what I mean, 50%? Here's 50% of target one. There's another 50% of target one. We're split the same way here. 50%, half and half. Okay, so if we're in this trade and we have our stop loss, is we got to close below this line. Maybe that's where we half our risk. Then we hit target one. Now we're at break even, or we can move all the way up to halfway. Then we close below. Geez, this might be really cool. I'm just like brainstorming out loud in real time here. Then we close below this line. Then we're super tight, and we come back and get stopped. And then we come back and like end up. We would have made a little more if we let that thing run by 87 ticks. 87 ticks on the 5 minute on the 5 minute though. It's not. I mean, it's not that much. I mean, it's either that or you leave money on the table. I don't know. See if there's any other examples. That one was a loss, and I don't think that would have made a difference. This 1240, that was a loss. No difference on that one. This one, loss, no difference. This one, loss, no difference. No difference. Yeah. So those morning trades. Those morning trades would have been really nice. Let's look at some of these from. These might have more juice in them. Let's see. This one, no difference. This one, let's just do like two more and then we'll call it good. I'll do the little sales thing at the end. And then we're just going to switch that out for 50%. Load. These are just things that I made. It's pretty easy to do. 50% load. Okay. And then we're just going to divide that in half to see what it looks like. Okay. So here, our stop. I feel like this should make sense to everybody. And then we'd also have copy paste. So we hit target one. So we don't have to deal with the 50% cut risk. We just go right. We hit target one right off the bat, the next candle. So now we're at break even. Oh, I guess we were closed above this one, so we could have moved our stop to this line. Then we close above here. Then we move our stop to this line. Then we get stopped out, and then we keep going. So I don't know. It's something that I haven't tested at the 50%, but at the minimum, move your stop to break even. I don't know, maybe only do one move depending on the time. There's a lot of options with that. It'd be interesting if somebody just handed me a whole boatload of data on that. But I hope that was helpful. Yeah, I already showed you the back test for the other day, because I in the beginning of the meeting, so I don't actually need to test the other day. So I'll bring that back in. I think it's right here, and then we can do our total for 3 days. Please, if you don't have software, just get it. Do yourself a favor, give yourself an early birthday present. Just get the software and then be part of the team. There's a plethora of training videos. You can get into so much detail, or you can just use like this simple system or the simple system that Michael teaches on the webinar. There's a host of different ways, but my recommendation is to keep it as simple as you possibly can, because I know that I have a tendency to overcomplicate things. Even with this trail management thing, I don't know. That can complicate things, but we're only talking one position. So yeah, maybe next time I host a webinar, I'll have some more detail on the trail stop thing. And if anybody trades a different instrument and back tests or tries this system that I've taught today, send me an email at jacob@backtofuturetrading and @.com and let me know how it goes. Different time frame, try the 1 minute NASDAQ or freaking, I don't know, 3 minute ES or crude. Let me know how crude works. It's pretty cool. All right, let me just make sure there's no questions. Oh, Bruce is saying something. Elite Trader Funding has end of the day drawdown. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Thanks. Not the unrealized P&L used by Apex, which is much easier to have a runner. Maybe I'll switch to them, Bruce. Elite Trader Funding. Let me check them out. Elite Trader Funding. Oops, it helps if you're actually typing it. Elite Trader Fund. Are they more expensive than Apex or something? Or like, oh man, there's a serious competition. Wow, dude, there's a serious competition going on in this prop firm market. Wow, look at that. That's pretty cool. I'll just show the screen. I mean, whatever. I'm not getting paid by these guys. 100% for the first 1,200. Like every one of these companies is like competing directly with the other ones, and they're all trying to one up each other. It's really funny to see. Apex lets you keep the first 10,000 in profits. So Elite Trader comes in, they're like, we'll let you do the 12,500. Then the next company that comes along is be like, we'll let you keep 12,599 in profits. Motives, I'll just trade their ideas. Yeah, okay, several versions. Yes, reset fees. Oh, look, and they make their reset fee $5 cheaper than Apex. It's hilarious. Automatic free account resets on subscription renewal if account is locked. Apex doesn't have that. Dude, this is pretty cool. What? What? Wow, it's like they copied Apex, but made it better. What the? I wonder, do they give out discount coupons like candy? Oh, look, right down here. 65% off on all one-step EOD end of day drawdowns and static drawdown of it. Static drawdown. Oh, I see. Okay, so they still have a static account, but their drawdown is end of day drawdown. Oh, okay. Not the unrealized P&L. Oh man, that seems so much easier. Because we all, I mean, almost all of us here, we own the software, we own Warp, and yeah, it can be very challenging using Warp to qualify for these funded accounts, because Warp's all about letting that one runner go. So like the other day, I was up like half of my drawdown, And I was like, I think it might just keep going, like, whatever. Like, I'm only so much of the way through this eval anyway. And then it came back down like the whole $3,000 or whatever it was. And I mean, still alive, it's fine. But if I was using the end of day drawdown, I'd be totally fine. Man, thank you, Bruce. Really appreciate this recommendation. I'm gonna look into this more. Hopefully everybody else is. Let's see, let's end of day drawdown evaluations and daily loss limit. Okay, all right, so let's see, the 50K. So the 150K is the biggest. Daily loss 3,300, daily loss. Profit target 9, max drawdown 45. So that's 50, yeah, that's 100% of the, and then the 1K, 3,500 drawdown, daily loss limit 2,200, profit target 6,000. Let's see, 75. Yeah, the 75K looks like it has the best delta. So you're allowed a $2,700 drawdown and a $4,300 profit target. And then they'll give you, basically they'll give you, they don't give you $75,000. They give you $2,700. When you qualify for this account, they give you 2,700 actual dollars in their trading account to trade. So the biggest account that they have, they'll give you $4,500. Apex, I think, is like 7,000 is the biggest. And then there's the static ones. And then what's this over here? I understand what that auto renews everything. No monthly renewal. Oh, these are fast tracks. What? Oh, so you don't need to have maximum of 14 calendar days. Oh, these are, oh man. I'm actually, yeah, I don't mind that I'm going off on a tangent on this. So Apex is a minimum of 10 trading days. They'll let you qualify within only 5 trading days. That's 1 week. That requires much less patience, but it also might make people reset more. Resets allowed. No resets allowed. Oh, interesting. And then another thing that's cool for anybody who doesn't have the software yet, or it's like, oh, how do I even get set up with NinjaTrader? What's it cost? Blah, blah. Buy the TachEon TimeWarp. That's why we're here. That's the software we use every day. Everybody in this room. Reach out to Dave, 727-742-2626, David at backtothefuturetrading.com, and he will figure out a way to get you the software. I don't have any money. I don't know. I just need. Talk to Dave. He'll figure something out. There's options. There's options. Michael and Ron, they actually, I don't know how they've managed to do this. Maybe it's just a story that I make up. They seem to actually still like people. Me, I oscillate. One day I might like people, and the next day I'm like, I don't want anything to do with people. But Michael and Ron seem to still love people. I'm trying here. Just kidding. But talk to Dave. Please do yourself a favor and get the damn software. And then, even if you don't have NinjaTrader, you don't know anything about how much does the data cost, what's the license fee. If you start with somebody like something like Elite Trader or Apex or something, they give you the data. Like it seems like, oh, $145 or $50, but like you don't have to spend the money for the NinjaTrader license. You don't need to spend the money on the data. So really, like it's not that bad. Then you don't have to worry about risking your own capital, at least for a while. Try to qualify for one of these with the Warp software, especially these end of day, the no trailing drawdown, intraday unrealized profit trailing drawdown. So yeah, thank you, Bruce, for the recommendation on that. Optimus, Juliet, man, I don't know if I can't spell your name right. I apologize. Yeah, Optimus, send Michael an email. I'm sure he'd like to speak with or email people directly. Michael at backtothefuturetrading.com, I think. Yeah, Optimus is right now. It's out on a it's on a like a special release or something. You should have. I don't know if everybody received the email, but I'm not. Maybe November, I think. But the emails have gone out with the offer. So yeah, you email Michael, respond to him, and yeah, there is more info now, actually. So that's the word on the street. I've seen the email. Does Dave like people? I don't know. I hope so. He's in sales. I tried to do the sales thing here for a while, and I don't like people enough to do sales. I don't like the people enough. Okay, here's what I don't like the people who don't have the software enough to stay to keep doing that job, because I'm a trader and I use the software, and I just like, you don't want it? Why? I don't understand. I'm gonna reach through this computer screen right now and just slap you around a little bit if I could. Just get the daggone software. Stop sitting on the fence. It's only a couple grand. You can make that back. And if you're not willing to risk that, if you can't risk money on professional software, then how can you expect to, like, then you're going to risk your whole trading account with stochastics or manual technical analysis of any kind? Risk the money on the software. I mean, you got 30 people right here in just this one webinar alone that have it. Yeah, just get the, yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so or learn the square of 9. Go ahead, it's easy. Anyone can do it. But once you're done with this, there's more. No. All right, let me show the screen of significance again, and then we'll get you all out of here. So what you're gonna do is, if you don't have the software, I wouldn't even bother doing this unless you want to. When I bought software, I watched I think like a webinar or two and some videos, and I was like, I'm just gonna get it. I think I took like a few days to watch a bunch of videos and make the decision, because at the time that was a lot of money for me. But I run I've run multiple businesses, and I understand that it takes money to make money. And I was having a hard time, honestly, coming up with a very quantitative, non-discretionary trading system. And I saw that that was possible with TimeWarp, let alone the signals. And it seemed like Michael, who was doing the webinar, was like a real person. And lo and behold, there's real people here at this trading company at Back to the Future Trading that you can talk to, which is just in its own right is kind of crazy, because most places, like, you can't trading software. I don't know. Trading software stuff, what it costs. I mean, I don't know. Top technical analysis schools. Imagine going through all this. No. No. We're already here. You're already here. So go back to the future trading, and then you go to your product store. TachEon TimeWarp is why we're all here. It's what I use every single day. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. Well, not all the way down to the bottom. $2,495 worth of goodness. I've gotten my money's worth out of this over and over and over and over and over. Go to checkout without Pro Training Room, or you can buy now. You can get 3 classes a week, and you can trade how Ron does, or Gavin in the Pro Training Room. You can just follow along with their trades, and I'll say no more. Or go to the checkout without the Pro Training Room. That's what we'll do for here for now, and we'll just make sure that all got read scrupulously. And then we'll put our discount code in. Warp off, yo. Warp off, yo. If you don't get this software today, then warp off. Apply. $500 off. That's still not good enough for you out of pocket right now today. That's what Dave's job is. His job is to get you the daggone software. Shut up, get off the fence and buy it. That's Dave's job, but he'll do it probably nicer than I would. I got, maybe he even writes nice emails. I bet he does. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, I appreciate everybody. Let me make sure that there's no additional questions. Maybe I can share anything to help me prompt and say, yeah, right on. Yeah. Jacob, Jacob as in boy, Jacob at backtothefuturetrading.com. Shoot me an email, and sometimes I actually check them. Back to the future trading.com. There it is in the chat. Here's this. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, let's backtrack for a second. Don't forget, I think this is more like 95% of traders' accounts. And there's Goldman Sachs walking away. Bye, guys. It was nice doing business with you. Hello? You guys still awake? Oh, sorry about that. But instead, we can draft, like a race car drafts another car, or like getting behind that semi truck. It's like, wow, now I can get so much better gas mileage behind the semi. And then we can trade kind of what the banks are trading. I want to be in those moves. Oh, let's do one more quote. A successful trader studies human nature and does the opposite of what the general public does. What does the general public do? Lose money with free lagging POS indicators. That's another reason that I'm like, I'm very much so a contrarian. I'm the fiery dude who mixes things up at a party. If everybody's being quiet after a while, you know, like low energy, I might just get so frustrated that I just like get up and dance around and do something crazy, because I just can't stand it anymore. Like, dude, what are you guys doing? What are we doing? What's the movie? What's the samurai movie I'm thinking of? Oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember the name of it. Seven Samurai. The Seven Samurai reminds me of this. It's one of the most awarded samurai movie of all time. Seven Samurai. Highly recommended. It's got subtitles. It looks kind of like this. This actually might be a scene from Last Samurai, old black and white. And there's this character, one of the seven samurais, where he just shows up. So whatever the scene is, like I remember there was this one scene where everybody's kind of like huddled around this like lame little fire, feeling sorry for themselves, eating rice. They have no meat or something, and they're just in there kind of crying a little bit. And like it's a bunch of men too. And then this one samurai walks in and just starts yelling and screaming and spinning around in circles, just to kind of snap everybody out of it. So that's what I feel like, in a sense, I was doing when I bought the software. Like I can't do this anymore. I chose this direction here to the right. So, and then also before we go, I was mentioning my little brother in the beginning. Two lifetime licenses. That could be two separate computers. We'll leave it at that. Wink, wink. Free lifetime updates on Warp. So you would have gotten the RevPol update, which is really cool. Free white glove installation. So we will help you set it up if you're nervous about how to do that. Don't worry, comes with the purchase price. Free video archive, plus you have boatloads of YouTube videos that we have now. That limited promo code, once again, is warp off. And just purchase today with that link right there, backtofuturetrading.com/TachEon-time-warp. Oh, and then that's like the stuff that I can train you folks on. I'm not going to leave that up for long, but you can always pause it on the YouTube video. And then there's my phone number right there as well. All right. Okay, folks. Well, let's see. How shall we end it today? Let's do it like this. Properties. And then we will go and we will add a background image. And we will, I don't know, let's do, I don't know, how about a new image? See how this one works. I actually have no idea. Oh yeah, that works good. That works well. Happy, look at all those happy little trees. Is he gonna go and do that Bob Ross thing again? Yeah, He is. Think about how relaxed one could be. You could be if you don't have the software. This software that prints these somewhat magical, but not woo-woo, based on technical historical data analysis, prints these little white and blue dots out into the future, knowing that at 8:10 p.m. you might have to trade something. You might trade a long or a short, and not until 10 p.m. you know when it's coming. Will you have to do another thing to trade a long or a short based on how the price action comes up in or down into this 10 o'clock area, and then not till 11:30. After you've taken a nap and a shower or whatever part of the world you're in, not till 11:30 are you going to have to do anything again, for the most part. And then 12, and so on and so on. It's the most relaxing way to trade that I have ever experienced. Is out of all the software, I'm just gonna be honest, out of all the software that Back to the Future has, TachEon TimeWarp is the most relaxing. There it is, I said it. It is. Once you get into the zone of being able to hold those runners, if you can't do that, then you got some work to do. You gotta be able to hold those runners. You really do. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate 24 of you staying all the way to the end. I find that is amazing. We went 2.5 hours today. Hopefully somebody learned at least one thing. So as Michael would say, let the wind be at your back. And I don't know the rest of his quote, so I'll stop there and then do my own, which is, there are no mistakes in trading. It's a Bob Ross modification. There are no mistakes in trading. Only happy accidents. Signing out.